Time is here, no time to fear. Carell is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Carell is the one that you need to know. Now it's showtime.
Alrighty, MAGA is in a meltdown, and we're going to tell you over what. Plus, the No Kings rally, over 8 million people on the streets. Did it help? We'll talk about that and so much more. Happy Monday.
Now it's showtime.
Alrighty. It is the Carell Show. I am Carell. So very glad you are joining me on this whirlwind cavalcade. It is Monday, the last Monday of March, March 30th, and MAGA is having a meltdown. In particular, MAGA women. What are they melting down over? We're going to tell you. And 8 million people protest the No Kings rally. Does it change anything? Is it, a good or a bad thing? Can it be both? I know it pisses off the president, so that in and of itself is good stuff right there. I am sorry for being a little bit late. So I would not have been late. I'm not making this up. I would not have been late had it not been for my refrigerator. And you all are like, what? Well, here's the deal. This morning, and the deal, not a group with LA and Babyface, but the deal. This morning, hi, Miss M, when I was, feeding me an Ember and I was cleaning up from dishes at 7 o'clock in the morning, 10 to 7 actually, I was running a little ahead of time because we like to get to the park at 7:30 so I can be back at 8:30, be on air at 10. So, at 7:30 or 7 o'clock, I opened the refrigerator door and I simply could not take it. The maid hasn't been here in like 3 weeks because it's expensive. My refrigerator is very high use. I cook 2-3 times a day. And so I couldn't take it. And so I looked at it and thought, one of us has to go. And it wasn't going to be me. And so I literally cleaned the refrigerator from 7 to 7:45. Threw out stuff into the composter, washed all the dirty, Here's what it looks like right now. Here is a picture of my refrigerator. Oh, wait, it's sideways. Why does it always do that? I wish I knew. There is a way for me to change how it appears. I just don't know that way. But there is a way. And I'm going to try it right now. Let's see if this does it. I just want to learn new things here on the show. Okay, there's my refrigerator upside down. So that doesn't really help you, does it? You'll get a good look at it. You just wait and see. You wait and see. Oh, there it is. I figured out a way to make it right side up. Oh, my God. I'm learning something new on my show every day. Here we go. Here's the right side up. There you go. So there is my refrigerator as it is now. Not upside down, but right side up. That's what it looks like now. I did not have a before picture because I had dove right into it. I just said, you know what? This has got to be cleaned. How many of you just hate to clean I hate to clean my refrigerator. I do. I hate it. And then you've got to agonize. Is this good? Is this bad? Am I ever going to eat this? Should I throw this out? And then you got to make soup. Every time you clean the refrigerator, you got to make soup because you have veggies that are on the verge of being bad, but they're not bad yet, but they will be in a day or 2 or 3. So you're like, oh, got to make soup. So I'll be making veggie soup. And that's why I'm late, because it took me 45 minutes this morning to clean my refrigerator. I apologize, but there it is. Always got to be, honest with you all. Good afternoon to James Snable and to Granny and to Phineas and to Ray Renati and all the others that are joining us at youtube.com/Willie Carell. And a special good morning or good afternoon to all of my patrons at patreon.com/Willie Carell. Without you, there would be no show. So thank you very, very much for that. All right. So we do have a lot to talk about, including the scroll. And the scroll today is about the MAGA meltdown. We'll talk about that after the first short break, because I got a video to show you that you probably have seen, but maybe not. But the No Kings rally, 8 million people across the world this time protested Donald Trump, and a lot more people upset with him now than before. Of course, what is Donald Trump doing, in the media? Well, this morning on Air Force One, he was showing off pictures of the new ballroom. We're at war. He called it a war, finally. We're at war. Gas prices are $5 a gallon. Families are hurting. The ACA, the subsidies are gone. He's talking about eliminating Obamacare, so you will have no health insurance. We have millions marching in the street against his policies, so instead of addressing his policies, what does he do? He shows pictures of the new ballroom that he's so proud of. It was kind of disgusting. I'm like, okay. But that's what he was doing on Air Force One, showing photos of the new ballroom. And so I guess that's where his mind is at. It is not on the 50,000 troops that have now been amassed near Iran. It is not where Iran is saying, if you attack us, we'll burn you down. No, that's not what he's doing. No, he's showing the new ballroom. Isn't that something? Isn't that just perfection? So,
if you're not visiting reallycorel.com daily, you're missing out. Get the podcast, videos, and the blog, including recipes at reallycorel.com. That's really KAREL.com.
Showtime is here, no time to fear. Corel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Corel is the one that you need to know.
So it's a trend now on my show for me to point out that MAGA can be the best bullies and bully people, bully trans people, gay people, minorities. ICE loves to bully Hispanics. They're great bullies. But when someone pokes at them, they just can't take it. And someone who is having a meltdown right now is the repulsive Erica Kirk. She is as repulsive to me as her husband was. Now, I have gone on record saying Charlie Kirk should not have been shot through the neck, although I fully believe it was the Trump administration's doing. I have no evidence of that. I just believe it to be true, to divide the nation. But she's disgusting. You know, I lost a high-profile husband, Andrew Howard, May 21st, 2001, 25 years ago. I know about public grief, and I couldn't be on radio without crying. I still did radio. I still did interviews. I just cried all the time. I did not launch a tour. I did start a TV show, Ultimate Revenge, but, you know, I was not Erica Kirk. And so she likes to play the widow card when it suits her. So now she's out there playing the wounded widow because a comic named Druski, Druski, a black comic, okay, he is black. He released possibly one of the funniest parody videos I have ever seen, and it's a parody of all conservative women combined, but he looks like Erica Kirk if she gained weight. And the video has been seen millions of times, millions across the globe. Everybody is commenting on it. And it's brought up a whole lot of issues about whiteface or blackface and all of this. But more importantly, MAGA, which was all about make America funny again. Let comics be funny again. You know, stop being such babies about comedy. This is what MAGA said. And now a comic is making fun of them and they can't take it. So for those of you that have not seen the Druski video, here is all 2 minutes and 20 seconds of it in its glory.
Get on your feet, boy!
War is raging in Iran.
We're praying for all the soldiers and troops.
That's great that you're praying, but
How about all the kids that died when the USA hit the towers?
It broke my heart. That is the
In what ways have you grown closer to Jesus?
I serve a righteous God. And that is why we say our prayers. And we are all his children. But when I say children, I mean like the holy, blessed Trinity, which is why I hold the Bible.
Sweet
cream foam chai ice matcha.
Okay.
And Bella will have all organic puck cup.
Organic.
Yes, everything organic.
Low 4, 3, 7. Oh, are you good? 4, 3, 2. Hold your chest lifted. We're gonna lift.
We have to protect all men in America, especially all white men in America. Those are the boys that we care about in this country. America is built on their backs. Yes, because they are the ones who mattered most.
Get on your feet. 4.
Do you know how I know that is so funny? Because I am so jealous I didn't do it. That shit was hysterical, okay? Now, first, let me explain to you the laws about parody, which I know all well and good. The court, including the Supreme Court, has held up that parody is a protected form of the First Amendment. That you can parody something or someone, and they can't sue you. Thus, Saturday Night Live, okay? So Erica Kirk has demanded that Elon Musk take the video down. She has demanded that Mark Zuckerberg take the video down. She has sent a cease and desist letter to Druski, and she is now threatening or suing Druski for defamation and everything else. The lawsuits will go nowhere. It is protected. The other thing she said is, well, maybe I should do blackface now since he's white or he's black. The comic that did that is black. He's black. He's bearded. I mean, that was totally a transformation. He should get an Oscar or an Emmy for, makeup. But she's like, well, maybe I should do blackface now, except they'd call me racist. Because you would be, you racist fuck. What you don't understand, Erica Kirk, in your addled brain, is that blackface was invented solely to demean and make fun of black people, and because black people were not allowed to be in plays and or movies, and the minstrel shows, which featured the blackface, were the most racist, detrimental things that there are. White people, particularly Republican white women, can still get in a movie, can still get in a play, are allowed to go into theaters, are allowed to go into dining rooms, are allowed to get on buses. So the notion that you would compare this comic doing a parody of white Christian women to blackface shows just how racist you really are, Erica Kirk. And the notion that your husband, okay, your husband, who you defend, who you promote, and who you profit off of, your husband said he would pay to see public executions. I can pull you up the quote that he would watch an execution. Also, Erica Kirk, you said that you forgave the shooter that shot your husband. You said out loud in interviews that you forgive the person that shot your husband. So you can forgive the guy that put a bullet through your husband's neck. But Druski's going too far with his parody? That math ain't mathin', honey. So either you don't forgive the person that shot your husband, or you know the person that shot your husband, or you know why he shot your husband, or you don't forgive any of them and you just a big bull-faced liar. But whatever the case may be, Erica Kirk, shut the fuck up. You put yourself out there. You're the one doing 450 interviews a day. You're the one going on tour with Turning Point USA. You're the one dancing around firecrackers and doing everything else. You leave yourself open for parody, you stupid wench. So to be upset about this, Candace Owens, by the way, said it was hysterical. Candace Owens laughed and said it was funny as can be. Oh, but Erica Kirk and MAGA women everywhere. MAGA women who elected a president that said, I grab women by the pussy. Who elected a president that sexually assaulted E. Jean Carroll, and they still support a president that has allegations of rape with a 13-year-old girl. She's going to get offended by that video. That's just rich. That's just rich. You know? So I love that video. I love it. I wish I had done it. I wish I had done that video. It's so good. Druski deserves an Emmy for best comedy performance. That was spectacular. And when someone like Erica Kirk is such a parody of a human being, you know, she's already a caricature. She's not a real human. She's like a Stepford human. Well, then you leave yourself open for it. You know, I think, what's his name? Married to Scarlett Johansson on Saturday Night Live. I think his Pete Hegsworth is just, Colin Jost. I think his Pete is just right on. It's so right on, it's scary. And God knows Tina Fey as Sarah Palin. Well, you don't get better than that. So this notion that Erica Kirk would have some legal grant and that MAGA, what a bunch of triggered snowflakes these people are. Everything triggers them except the right things. Drag queens trigger them. Trans people trigger them. Gay people trigger them. Parody videos trigger them. Comedy triggers them. Music and music artists like Taylor Swift trigger them. What doesn't trigger them? An out-of-control, insane president who's a sexual predator and convicted felon. What doesn't trigger them? Unending war in the Middle East where they're paying $5 a gallon for gas and grocery prices are so high they make you want to weep. What doesn't trigger them? Climate change. They just deny it. They are the biggest snowflakes in the world. Immigrants trigger them beyond belief. These people are so easily triggered. They have the most fragile little egos of all. And because they're so triggered, they think everybody else is. Like on TikTok, they love to make fun of my lisp under my videos. And they think that's actually going to offend me. Put 1,000 comments under there making fun of my lisp. That just tells the algorithm I'm getting interaction. Put 10,000 comments under there about my lisp. I don't care. You can't hurt me. You can't hurt my feelings. You're nothing. You maggots are nothing. To me, you are nothing. You have no brains. You have no sense, no political savvy. You're snowflakes who are easily triggered about everything. And you're babies who have to make fun of a person for their looks or their lisp or whatever else, their gayness or their trans. You're babies. You're third graders. Your children have more maturity than you do. And your time is up. And you can't stand it. You can't stand that your time is up. That your 15 minutes is on 14 minutes and 30 seconds. Your time and your leader's time is up. How do I know? Because 8 million people took to the streets yesterday or Saturday to denounce your dictator and to denounce you and to show the world that you are the minority. The people that voted for Trump would not vote for him today. Hispanics turning against him. Blacks turning against him. Young people turning against him. And you want to know the richest thing? Fox News reported on the No Kings rally, and they said it was just a bunch of old, gray-haired, angry white people. And I just sat there with my mouth open. Fox News, the network of old, angry, gray-haired white people. The network that caters to old, angry, gray-haired white people, that employs old, angry, gray-haired white people, is going to say that, oh, the No Kings rally doesn't matter because it's just old, angry, white-haired people. See, they don't even get how ridiculous and stupid they sound. They don't get it. They can't even spell irony, let alone know what it means. And so here are 8 million people now, the largest ever. As of today, according to the cover of the LA Times, Donald Trump's poll numbers are so low that if it was blood sugar, you'd be in a coma. Okay? And they can't stand it. They can't stand it. And so the minority, the MAGA minority, is getting louder and louder and more snowflakey and snowflakey because they can't stand their moments up and they didn't get what they wanted. The Supreme Court is about to deny Donald Trump's birthright citizenship revocation. All indications are they're not going to rule for him. And he's already pissed at the Supreme Court. You're going to lose, MAGA. He's already lost the country, and you're going to lose all the seats you gained. The Democrats are going to slaughter you in the midterms. You're going to lose. He will be impeached or removed, as will J.D. Vance. And the Speaker of the House, which will be a Democrat, will become the president. And you can't stand it. And I'm loving it. I am loving watching your downfall. It is fabulous. And Druski.
Patreon is the way to show you care. Subscribe today if you dare. Keep the show on there. Patreon is the way. Now it's showtime.
Yes, it was a great rally. 8 million people, young people, old people, black, white, gay, straight, all taking to the streets. It was fabulous. It was empowering. You know, yeah, he's still president the next day, but not for long. Not for long. And all the MAGA in my chat room, please keep insulting me. Go right ahead, please. It's interaction. It makes the algorithm pick up the show even more. So insult away. You think you can tell me something or say something that's going to upset me? Oh, I only take criticism to heart from people that I care about. I don't care about you. You've already shown your ignorance by voting for a sexual predator who allegedly rapes 13-year-old girls and still supporting him. You've already shown you have no morals, no values, and that you won't stoop too low, that there's no bar too low for you to go under. You've already proven that. All of my listeners already know that you are the scum of the earth. So continue to show that you are the scum of the earth. Go right ahead. Call me faggot. Make fun of my lisp. Go right ahead. I am a faggot. I suck the best dick around, honey. Your dad thinks so. So, you know, call me whatever you want. I don't care. I don't care. Your time is up. You are dinosaurs drowning in the tar pits of La Brea. You are going to be fossils. You're going to be looked back on like the Nazis. When history looks back on you, you think they're going to look at your movement and say it was something powerful, something impactful. No, they're going to look at it as a criminal enterprise led by a wannabe fascist. So I don't really care what you think. No one does anymore. You've had your time. And what did you do with it, MAGA? What did you do with your big time? 80 million votes, the House and the Senate. And what did you do? Did you provide health care for your neighbors and yourself? No, that actually disappeared. Did you provide lower prices at the grocery store? No, they're double and triple what they were. Did you provide lower fuel and energy prices? Nope, they're higher. Did you stop unending wars? Nope, Ukraine's still fighting, Israel's still committing genocide, and now it's MIGA, Make Israel Great Again, as we go and invade Iran. You got nothing. You got nothing for your vote. Nothing. You didn't even get a guy that believes in your morals or your values. You got ICE on the streets killing your neighbors, and you think that's an accomplishment. You got nothing. And you're so stupid. Oh, and the Epstein files. You didn't get what you wanted from those. Because the guy that's in there more than Jesus Christ is in the Bible is still sitting in the Oval Office. You got nothing for your vote. Nothing. Zero. Oh, you'll justify it. Oh, no, I got this, I got that. But in reality, you got nothing. A big zero. because he doesn't care about you. He never cared about you. He only cared about winning. So he would lie and say whatever he needed to say to win, and you fell for it, MAGA, the most gullible group of ignorant people I have ever encountered, and you fell for it. Now, there's hope for you. There's hope for you, MAGA. There is. Because many of us still believe in America, the United States of America. We still believe that we can put aside petty differences for the greater good of the country. We believe that. You don't, but we do. You see, Barack Obama said it best. I am everybody's president. We believe the president is the president for all people, not just people he likes. So when we elect a president in 2028, that president will actually be looking out for you too, MAGA. Oh, you won't deserve it, but they will be. So when they restore your health care, when they lower prices at the store, when they get us out of these unending wars, when they regain the respect of the world and NATO, it will be to your benefit, MAGA. So there's hope for you. And whether you want the help or not, it's going to come, because Democrats and independents believe that the president is the president of all people in the United States. When we strike down all these anti-trans and anti-gay bills that you've put forth, it will be your children and your brothers and your sisters that benefit. Because like it or not, MAGA, you've got gay brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, you've got trans family members. Whether you like it or not, you do. And they will benefit. So all is not lost. You have a chance to get educated. You have a chance to throw your hatred aside and to be an American first and then a party member second. You have that ability. Now, whether you act upon it or not is totally up to you. But even if you don't, we're still going to take care of you. We're still going to make sure when you go to a hospital, you are not turned away because you can't pay. We're still going to make sure that when you're addicted to OxyContin, as so many of you are, or fentanyl, that you're going to get help. We're still going to make it that if your daughter is attacked by someone like Donald Trump, they're punished. So there's hope for you. And we certainly welcome you back into the United States of America. You just got to leave your hatred at the door. That's all. Just leave your hatred at the door and come back. When we make legislation to help with climate change and regulations to stop major corporations from raping you while destroying the planet, you will benefit. So you're going to benefit from everything that's about to happen in the midterms and in 2028. You're going to benefit. Many of you don't deserve it, but you will benefit. And then perhaps you'll put your hatred outside and realize you're an American and that I'm an American with my lisp and my neck waddle and my gayness, and that as an American, I deserve the same respect, rights, and compassion that you do. You know? And if you can't accept that, then perhaps you should leave. If you can't accept that we're all Americans, even the ones you don't like, then maybe this isn't the right country for you. I hear Saudi Arabia is beautiful this time of year. Take a trip. Why don't you go fight on the front lines in Iran? You're so gung-ho on Trump. They raised the age to 42. Go fight for your guy. Go die for him. You love him so much.
It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Carellcast on your favorite streaming service. You're listening to the Carellcast. Driving you home or driving you crazy. It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Carellcast on your favorite streaming service. listening to the Carell Cast. Driving you home or driving you crazy.
Now it's your time.
See, this is what I mean. Someone in the chat room just typed in, "You look like Elton John." Like, that's an insult. Elton John, a multi-Grammy, multi-platinum, one of the biggest artists since the 60s, who crossed over into pop and to rock and sells out arenas, has a beautiful husband, a beautiful family, works with, scored films, won Oscars. You think it's an insult to look like Elton John? Oh my God. No, what would be worse is looking like you, a nobody. That's what would be worse. Wow. Thank you. I got to get better glasses if I'm going to be Elton. I got to get me some Elton glasses. These are just Ray-Bans. I got to get me some sparkles and some diamonds. Lucy in the sky. It's funny you compare me to him. One of his songs is one of my favorites to sing, which is Your Song. I love that. What a great piece of writing. Elton and Bernie Taupin, you just can't beat them, and Your Song is such a beautiful song, It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. I'm not one of those who can easily hide. Oh, I know it's not much, but it's the best I can do. My gift is my song, and this one's for you. Oh, some of the best lyrics ever written are by Bernie Taupin, and some of the best music ever put to those lyrics is by Elton John. What a fabulous, fabulous person he is. So MAGA's melting down over Druski, which I love. I'm telling you, he looked like Erica Kirk. He had it going on. But they can't take it. Meanwhile, it really annoys them that 8 million people showed up to protest their guy. It annoyed Trump so much he didn't mention it. 8 million constituents rally in the streets, and he shows off a ballroom. A ballroom. Which people are donating to build to curry favor with him to get corporate favors. I can't wait till they're all arrested. Every donor to the ballroom, I can't wait till they're arrested for trying to buy government favor. I can't wait. It's illegal. I can't wait till Trump is arrested. That's going to be such a great day. He'll die first, but I can't wait till he's arrested if he lives. That'll be so much fun to see him perped walk. So, there we have those things. And the No Kings, like last year I said No Kings, oh, why bother? What's it going to change? I'm all for it. Go out and march and be together and sing your songs. All you fascists gonna lose. Or sing my song, Stronger, Stronger, Together. Or sing Thea's song, We're Not Going Back. We're Not Giving In. Yes, go, do it. Show the world that we're not taking it. So good for all of you that went out to the No Kings rallies. Good for you. You're doing what you can. You're showing the world we're not going to take it. You're showing the world America, on the most part, hasn't lost its mind. Good for you. I think that's incredible. And you're standing up to a bully. And I'm all for that. Stand up to the bullies. And there wasn't a lot of violence yesterday. MAGA didn't take their guns and their small penis pickup trucks and drive through the crowds. So good for MAGA. I will give MAGA credit. I will say, hats off to MAGA. You pretty much, you showed up and you counter-protested, but that's your right. And so as long as you did it peacefully, good for you. You didn't have a mass shooting. You didn't drive your little penis truck through a crowd. Good for you, MAGA. I mean that. Good for you. If you just went with your signs and you tried to counter the people. Good for you. A couple of your influencers went out and tried to cause trouble, but the liberals put them right in their place. Hassan Piker was out, and he put a lot of people in their place. And good for you, MAGA. If you wanted to show up and protest the No Kings rally, and you did, and you're MAGA, good for you. That is your First Amendment right. We are certainly not trying to step on your right to protest, unlike y'all. So I think yesterday or Saturday was a huge success. 8 million people out in the world, and hardly any violence from MAGA. I think that's great. That's great. So congratulations to everybody that did it. Many celebrities. Bruce Springsteen was out there. Jane Fonda was out
If
there.
you're not visiting reallycorrell.com daily, you're missing out. Get the podcast videos and the blog, including recipes, at reallycorrell.com. That's really KAREL.com.
Showtime is here, no time to fear. Carell is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Carell is the one that you need to know.
For that gentleman in the chat room that said I look like Elton John, let me just tell you, I'm a bitch, oh, the bitch is back. Stone cold sober, as a matter of fact. I can bitch, cause I'm better than you. It's the way that I move, the way that I groove, oh. Alrighty. So, I read an article in the New York Times yesterday, which said the end of Queer Eye and the end of queer acceptance. And it made me sad. Not because of the end of Queer Eye. I never liked Queer Eye, not the first one or the second one. I didn't like the queens they picked for it. I always felt I should be on it because those queens had no common sense. And I didn't like it. I did not like it. I didn't like the first name, Queer Eye, for the straight guy. That's just, I didn't like it, you know? It should have been Queer Eye for every guy or whatever. And I didn't like the queens that were on it. And that new one, I know you all love that long-haired queen, Jonathan, whatever his name. Do not like him. Just don't like him. And Tata Watanabe or whatever. I didn't like any of them. And that's just me. Okay, I'm allowed to not like queer people. I did not like that show. I didn't really watch Queer as Folk. I didn't think the American Queer as Folk was great. Although Hal Sparks, who is on it, was a friend of mine, or is. I thought that the show had a lot of problems. But, you know, up until Donald Trump, two things up until Donald Trump were going well. Two things. First, LGBTQ acceptance. Oh my, Ember's doctor is calling her. I got to tell him, I got to take the call and tell him to call me back. Hello? Hey, Dr. B, I'm currently live on the radio. Can you call me back after 11? All right, thank you. Bye. So that was Ember's doctor. I always take my dog's doctor's call, in case there's something, you know, going on. But anyway, so the end of LGBTQ acceptance. Donald Trump heralded that in his first term and then brought it back in his second. And he and MAGA have tried to push gays, lesbians, trans people as far back in the closet as they possibly could. It's not working in every level, but it is on some levels. In states like Tennessee or Kansas, where fucking gay people shouldn't live in the first place. So LGBTQ rights, not just in America, but the religious right, who are no more religious than that light stand, export their hatred. And it has been allowed to flourish, that anti-gay hatred, under Donald Trump. Gays hate Donald Trump. And, you know, Reagan had gay friends. There are always self-loathing gays. So gays as a whole do not like Donald Trump. And he knows that. And so he has set the gay movement back many years, taking the pride flags off of everything and just all the ridiculous stuff he has done for gays. I think it is stupid to have an editorial that says the end of queer acceptance, because the polls show that people still overwhelmingly accept gay people. Someone said, oh yeah, but acceptance for same-sex marriage went from 69% to only 65%. And I said, so what you're saying is more people approve of same-sex marriage than approve of Donald Trump, because his approval rating is 31%. So they like to do these stories that say, oh, look, gay acceptance is slipping backwards. No, it's not. However, legally, they have been able, because of Republican state legislators and on the federal level, been able to push anti-gay and anti-trans legislation through in record amounts. There are 696 anti-gay bills in America right now. So they are trying to erase us, and they are trying to sanitize us from society, and in some ways it's working. Hollywood representation is way down. Television representation is way down. You have the head of Pixar taking gay representation out of Pixar movies, saying we're not making therapy movies. So in some ways it's working. Now, as soon as they're gone, all of that will get undone. But they're not gone yet. So that's the first thing he did, was to vilify gays and lesbians yet again. The second thing that he has done is he has set back the vegan food movement in America huge, in a big way. His attacks, he just called James Tallarico a vegan like it was a bad thing. James Tallarico is not a vegan. But now Donald Trump uses the word vegan like it's the word fuck. He uses it like a swear word. And it's funny because vegans are the ones doing the right thing for the planet and for each other. They are the most compassionate people on the planet because they are willing to change their diet to A, save the planet, and B, save other animals. So vegans are by far the most compassionate, intellectual people out there. So I see why MAGA and Donald Trump hate them. Because they're uneducated. They don't know that what they're doing by eating meat and dairy is wrong, and that they are killing the planet and themselves. If we were all vegan, we wouldn't need Manjaro or Ozempic or anything else. If we were all vegan, gas wouldn't be $5 a gallon. Okay, it just wouldn't be. We wouldn't be as reliant upon it as we are now, because 42% of climate change is your diet. And a lot of that is the fossil fuel it takes to get your food from one place to another. Mainly your meat and your dairy. So Trump has been able to vilify gay people and vegans, which is why in all of my bios I say I am a woke gay vegan, because I want to piss as many people off as I possibly can. However, I have noticed a large number of vegan establishments and restaurants and online resources. Forks Over Knives is going away. There was a VegCore News, which is a sort of a business of being vegan website that did daily updates. Now they're going to weekly. Here in Las Vegas, Dervo changed from a vegan restaurant to one with meat. We have another one called Saffron. It was a vegan eatery, and now they serve meat. So they're changing. And when asked why, they completely say because of the negativity that Donald Trump and RFK Jr. are throwing out about being a vegan. And it's amazing because the Republicans always champion the wrong things. They always do what's worse for society, but say it's best. For instance, RFK will tell you he's redoing the food pyramid and go eat more meat and go eat more dairy, and that's exactly the wrong thing that you should be doing. You should not be eating more meat and dairy. You should be eating less. You should only eat meat once a week, and you should only have dairy maybe twice a week. And that's it. That's science. Again, science scares MAGA. They don't understand it, so it frightens them. But that's science. That's what science says. And so Trump has been able, and his maggots, to vilify two of the best things about us. A, our DEI. Our Constitution was the original DEI document. Our Constitution was the original document to make sure that people were treated fairly. Okay, no matter who they were, unless you were a slave or black. But then we fixed that and amended it because Thomas Jefferson said the greatest thing about the document is that we can amend it. And we did, and we corrected those problems. So that's the first thing, that Trump vilified DEI, which is another word that he uses for gay. So that's the first thing. And the second thing, that he vilified being a vegan, that he now uses that word as a swear word. When MAGA is by far a worse word than vegan. Vegans have not caused any of the trouble that MAGA has. So I see how that has happened. And when I read the editorial, I thought, she's right. We are moving backwards in terms of gay rights. It makes me want to leave America. It does. But then I've always wanted to leave America because America has never really fully accepted gay people. And I get tired of that battle. I'm 63. I'm tired of it. I don't care if you like me. I don't care if you approve of me. I just don't want you to treat me differently. Under the law, I want the same rights. But now MAGA's furious that people are being thrown out of businesses for wearing Make America Great Again hats or for wearing shirts that support MAGA. They're so furious that businesses are refusing them, but they're fine if businesses don't want to bake a cake for gay people. They're fine if hotels don't want to let gay people stay in the same room together with one bed, which has happened, by the way. They're fine with that, but discriminate against them, and because they're snowflakes. Another example of how they're snowflakes. They scream if a restaurant throws someone out for wearing a Make America Great Again hat, but they applaud if a baker won't bake a cake for a gay wedding. That's how big of snowflakes they are. And so, yes, socially, and it's not just gays, though, or vegans. Any positive part of American society has gone backwards. A woman's right to choose, which should be codified in law because it's none of your fucking business what she does with her vagina. But a woman's right to choose has gone backwards. Women's rights have gone backwards. We now have young men talking about how they want women to stay home and not vote. And maybe we should repeal the right to vote for women. And maybe husbands should vote for their households. And yeah, this is what women have to put up with now, that kind of speech. So it's not just gays. Anything that is good and progressive and forward thinking has gone backwards because the only way for MAGA and Trump to win is through an educated, divided, intolerant populace. Okay, that's the only way they win, is to keep the idiots fighting amongst themselves. And it's working. It's very effective. But it's tried and true. It's been that way forever. So I'm used to it. I'm used to people calling me names for being gay. I'm used to being discriminated against. I've had program directors sit across the table from me and say, love your show. You are immensely talented. I'd love to put you on my station, but you're just too gay. I mean, that's been said to me in the last 2 years, not the last 20, the last 2 years. I'd love to syndicate your show. I'd love you. You're fabulous. You're incredible. You're funny. You're smart. You're witty, all that. But you're just too gay. You wouldn't play in the smaller markets. And that's where we make a lot of our money, not the big cities, but the small markets and your show. And they don't know that on number one radio, which I have been for 30 years, I was heard in those smaller markets and they loved me. But they think no one in a rural country is going to like you. You're so gay. And they think that because of the backward momentum under Donald Trump. The same with being a vegan. Now companies, Beyond Meat took the word meat out of their name. All kinds of things are happening now in the vegan space in America, not in the world. The rest of the world is embracing it. They know there's money to be made, and they know it's what we must do to protect the environment and to be healthier and to help farmers and to help. I mean, it would just do the benefits of it for the entire world are already known. It's just getting the world to do it. The same with LGBTQ rights, women's rights. We know that the world would be a better place if there was equality across the board. It's just a matter of getting the world to believe it. And it takes time. It does. And there's always a pendulum. And Trump has now swung to the anti-gay, anti-woman, anti-vegan, anti-environment, anti-everything but anti-MAME side. But that pendulum will swing back. It'll swing back. And when it does, we will be a better world for it and a better country. The heat dome is now moving. It's been here. Wednesday, the weather breaks here. It goes down to 75 degrees in Las Vegas. It's moving east. They're about to have record-breaking temperatures in the east while we're about to get low temperatures, snow flurries, rain, all of that. And they say this is not abnormal now. This is going to be the new normal because we've fucked up the environment beyond all recognition. We can change it, but it's going to take real leaders, and we have to stop giving people like MAGA a say. You know, my sister, who I was on the phone with today and is not doing well, by the way, she's just not doing well mentally. When she's in one of her confused states, we don't let her, run things. When someone is mentally incapacitated, you don't give them the keys to the car. So the adults will take over soon, and things will get better. Let's hope, right?
Patreon is the way to show you care. Subscribe today if you dare. Keep the show on there. Patreon is the way. Now it's showtime.
Oh, funeral for a friend. Oh my God, Sandy, is that Sandy? Oh, yes. Oh, I had that album. That song is 17 minutes long. I loved that album. The roses in the window box. I know a lot about. Do you know a great story about Elton John? True story. Let me tell you. True story about Elton John. A lot of people don't know this. So Patti LaBelle, who I know, Patti LaBelle was in Philadelphia. And this is like in the 70s. And Patti was touring with LaBelle. And they were huge. Lady Marmalade was huge. She was big. And she gets a phone call. And she picks it up in her hotel room. She says, hello. And the voice says, Pat, it's Reggie. And she's all, Reggie, what are you doing? Oh, my God, do you want to come to the show? It's so great to hear from you. Because Reggie was her piano player in her early days. And Reggie Dwight was her piano player. And so she's all, Reggie, oh, my God, it's so great to hear from you. Are you in Philly? What are you doing nowadays? And he goes, well, Patty, I wanted to invite you to my gig tomorrow night. I know that you're not gigging tomorrow night, and so I'd like to invite you to my gig. And she's all, oh, you have a gig tomorrow night? That's incredible. Where? And he says, the biggest arena in town. And she's all, Thing, who are you playing for? And Reggie says to Patty, I'm the headliner, Patty. I'm Elton John. And Patty freaked out, what? Because she was so busy in her world and in the R&B world, she just didn't realize that Elton John was her former keyboardist, Reggie Dwight. Isn't that something? Well, Patty, I'd like you to come to my gig. Oh, who are you gigging for, honey? I'm the headliner. Well, what do you mean? I'm Elton John. What? That's like Bette Midler. When Bette Midler did a New Year's show that I went to, Father Time came out at midnight and started playing the piano. And she said, ladies and gentlemen, the person playing the piano for me played the piano for me in the bathhouses of New York. And now he's come back to join me here on stage for this very special New Year's Eve. He took off the robe, and it was Barry Manilow. Because Barry Manilow used to be Bette Midler's piano player when she played in the bathhouses of New York, which is how I knew he was gay all along, by the way. But Barry Manilow was Bette Midler's keyboard player when she was at the bathhouses. And Melissa Manchester was one of the Harlettes. One of the original Harlettes was Melissa Manchester. You know Melissa. Don't cry out loud. Yes, she was one of the Harlettes. Isn't that something? Some trivia there for you. Patty, I'm Elton John. What a great moment, right? Patty, I'm Elton John. I sort of had one of those moments with Vesta Williams. I used to work for her, and then I wanted her to sing on our show on KFI, and I called her up. I said, V, I want you to come and sing on my show. And I said, I'll have a limo pick you up. She said, you'll have a limo pick me up? I said, V, I'm on KFI radio. I'm #1 in the afternoon drive. And she's like, Thing. I'm all, yes, V, because she didn't listen to talk radio. So she's like, you're on that KFI? Isn't that Rush Limbaugh on there? I said, yeah, we follow Dr. Laura. She goes, no. I'm all, yes, girl, come down and let's terrorize. And so she came to the station, and she came into my and Andrew's studio. And suddenly I was the diva and she was the guest instead of opposite. I used to hold her purse. I used to fetch her Perrier, you know. And suddenly I was asking our producers to get her water and things like that. So I had one of those little moments, you know, in my own career. So yes. So the lessons we learned today is that MAGA is a snowflake, can't take Druski doing parody of them, which is, you know, I remember the first time I heard Phil Hendry do me and Andrew. People thought we would be angry because, you know, Phil Hendry is one of the most brilliant impersonators around on radio and television and voice actors. And one day, Andrew and I are driving home and we turn on the radio to listen to Phil because we thought he was so talented. The way that he did all the characters and everybody thought they were all real people, and just, it was incredible. And to watch him work with a phone in one hand, a mic in another phone over here, and to switch, that man is one of the most brilliant broadcasters in history. And I'm so happy to call him my friend. He came to my induction into the Harvey Milk Plaza, and he had to drive 2 hours to do that. So that was a big deal. So anyway, so we turned on Phil Hendry. We get a phone call. It's Stella Marquin, David Hall's assistant, and said, you got to turn on Phil. So we do. And it's Phil Hendry on the radio. KFI AM 640. It is Carell and Andrew Live. I am Carell. And I'm Andrew. And he was doing us. And, you know, was it politically correct to imitate the two gay guys the way that he did? No. Was the topic that he was doing politically correct? Absolutely not. Were we offended? Oh, my God, no. Andrew and I looked at each other and said, oh, we've made the big time. And we really did. We looked at each other and said, oh, my God, we've made the big time. Phil is impersonating us. We felt so special at that moment that this comic genius, there's a documentary out about Phil Hendry. You should watch it. This comic genius was imitating me and Andrew and made us a character in his show. Many other gays would have been offended by it. We were not. We thought it was the cutest, sweetest thing. And was it offensive? Sure, but that's what Phil did. That's part of his shtick. I mean, David G. Hall, who he does in his show all the time, is nothing like the David G. Hall in the show. He's the real David G. Hall, but in the show, he's, so anyway. It was so great to hear another person do a parody of me. And I think he got Andrew spot on. No one can imitate me, but he really did get Andrew spot on. All right. Well, we are just starting the week. I'm so glad you're here with me. We're going to be here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, unless I have to go to Tucson. My sister's mental state, now they say she has metabolic encephalopathy. James Schnabel would know what that is. But it's brain swelling from chemicals in the brain, and then her ammonia level was too high from the valproic acid that they had her on. So they had to put her on lactic acid to get rid of the valproic acid and ammonia and all of this. Her mental state, she'll be talking to you normally, and then she'll just be off in the netherworld. And the doctor says it's getting better, but I don't think so. I may have to go out there. I am Carell. You be who you want to be, so I'm not hurt anybody. Come back tomorrow. Even if you're MAGA, we welcome MAGA here. We love everybody as long as you're an American or European, or we welcome everybody here. Just be civil to each other. That's all we ask.
It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Carellcast on your favorite streaming service. You're listening to the Carellcast, driving you home or driving you crazy. It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Carellcast on your favorite streaming service.